So the first thing I need to do is screw my hose into my faucet so it's ready to be used. So for this project, I'm going to be using a folk art stencil, and it says welcome. Next, you're going to need a power washer. Next, I'm going to plug the other end of the hose into the power washer and screw it in tight. So I'm going to start by placing my stencil onto the ground. Next, I turn on the water so that it's flowing to my power washer. So now your stencil might blow away, so you're going to need to figure out how you want to hold it still. So you can either stand on it and do it that way, which is more like what I'll be doing, or you could place some bricks on it. But tape may not hold it down either, because once tape gets wet, a lot of times it doesn't work as well. But you're gonna need this to hold real still while you're moving forward. Now that I've power washed it, I'm gonna peel it up, and if you look really close, you can see the welcome sign right there in the middle of the cement. So I'm gonna continue doing this, and you'll be able to see what this looks like. Here in Colorado, we don't grow a lot of moss or anything. We are very dry climate. So I think this stencil would work awesome in an environment where you maybe have a little more dirt that gets around, or potentially some more moss, because it'll clean away the dirt and debris, which is what this power wash is doing. So mine isn't giving quite the emphasis that it might in your neck of the woods per se, because we just have a drier climate. Look how cool and awesome is that? And can you even imagine the possibilities with a project like this? So how fun is this? Like, you could make a faux rug on your front porch or patio. You could do something like this for so many occasions, whether it's graduations, birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, any season or holiday, and you can adjust this and create something super awesome. And I hope this inspires you to try stenciling your concrete at your home. Again, I'm Chas from Chas's Crazy Creations. Thanks for watching Hometalk, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, first step is preparation. We're going to leaf blow this patio, get all the leaves and dust and dirt off. Then we're going to come in and do a little wash on it, but I'm going to start with the blower. Okay, I blew all the leaves off here. Now I'm going to do a quick little cleaning on it. I'm going to use some of this driveway and concrete cleaner. I'm going to mix it with some water, dilute it. Just follow the instructions on the manufacturer's recommendations here. And I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to give it a quick little scrub, let it dry thoroughly, and we'll be ready to base coat. Okay, we're going to base coat, but before we do, we want to mask off any surfaces that we do not want to paint. I've got this wall here. That's what I'm going to do. Just going to use some 2-inch tape, and I'm going to mask this off, and we'll be protected and ready to base coat. Okay, we're about to base coat this cement patio. Couple things I'd like to talk to you about. One, the paint. We're going to use an exterior Ben flat sheen. Flat sheen because it allows us to stencil more quickly, because the stencil paint will dry more quickly because it's got a porosity. It's porous, the flat paints. It'll drink up the stencil paint, it'll flash off or dry very quickly and allow us to move on to our next print. Another thing I want to talk to you about is nap of the roller. I would use at least a 1/2-inch nap roller. That's the thickness of the hair on, or the fur on the roller. This is going to give you a little bit of texture here, but it's going to go into your texture of your cement patio. If you use a roller that's too smooth, you're not going to get into all these little nooks and crannies. One more thing, don't break your back. You take either a broom handle if you don't have an extension pole, and these handles for the roller handles are set up, and you can just screw in your broom handle or extension pole, and now you can do your whole project standing up. Check that out. Look at that, so easy. Let's paint. To ensure that you're going to get right into the edge here, get a 2-inch brush, load it up with some paint, and you can cut in the edge. This will allow you to get in with your roller and get really close with making sure that you get everything into the corner. working our way out because you'd hate to paint yourself into the corner. Okay, our diamant tile stencil. It has this element here of triangular sections here in between the diamonds. Now we decided we wanted to simplify this patio a little bit, so we actually want to eliminate these triangular sections. So here's an easy way to do that. Just take your roll of tape and we are going to mask out the triangular sections so they are not stencils. Can you see what I'm doing here? And just mask these out. So you can modify any stencil you have, simplify them by just isolating or masking out particular areas and customize your stencil. Okay, we're going to put a little spray adhesive on the back of the stencil. This should help hold it in place while we're doing our stenciling. Any good repositionable spray adhesive should work fine. I've got some right here, some tacky spray. Here's the deal, spray it outside. You don't want to smell this. And just do a nice even coat. Like so. Put a couple of coats on here. I would say 2 coats like this. Then we're going to let it dry for about 2 minutes. It'll become what we call knuckle tack, and that's where it's just tacky enough to stick to the back of your knuckle, but not too wet that it transfers to the surface. Let's get stenciling. Okay, we're starting the project. I like to start in the corner and then work my way out. Let the pattern bleed into the outside edges because I'd like this to be perfectly lined up in the corners. So I've got a 16-inch repeat on my extra large stencil. So instead of trying to jam my stencil in the corner for the first one, I'm going to do the first one off the edge 16 inches and then carry it out, and I'll save the corner for later when I can cut the stencil, and I'll show you that. So what I'm going to do is measure 16 inches out. I'm going to make a little pencil mark, 16, okay, and I'm going to do the same thing here, 16 inches out, and I'll make a little mark here, and then I'm going to just check this and do 16. So this is my 16 out from both sides. I'm going to put a little X right here. Hopefully you guys can see what's going on here. And then this way, I'm going to place my stencil, bending it into this corner because I want my repeat to start right in the corner. So I'm going to line up the corner of this stencil with this mark here, 16, and I'm going to line this corner up with this 16.